Good, happy Friday morning, November 2nd, 2018. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, couple sentenced to 3 months in jail for lying about girls' sexual assault. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9, Andy Hirschberger.
Save up to $3,000 off on 2018 Polaris sleds, only at HK Power Sports. Buy from the people that ride.
Prosecutors say that the entire legal system is based on truth, and what Heidi Quinn and Jeffrey Johnson did attacks the very foundation of justice. The couple pleaded guilty to perjury when prosecutors say they learned that a young girl had been sexually assaulted and lied about it in court.
It made me really mad to know that they were calling me a liar when they knew I was telling the truth.
The man who sexually assaulted this young abuse survivor eventually pleaded guilty to several charges and is serving a lengthy prison sentence. Prosecutors asked that Quinn and Johnson serve a minimum of 1.5 years for not telling the truth during their testimony.
I think about what Heidi and Jeff did almost every day, but lately I've been trying not to. When I think about what they did, I feel hurt and aggravated.
But defense lawyers said both Quinn and Johnson know they made a terrible mistake and asked forgiveness from the abuse survivor and the judge.
I understand that telling the truth is always better than telling a lie, and I'm sorry for not doing that when I testified.
I am truly sorry for my dishonesty while testifying under oath in this court. I let my emotions take over, and it's something that I'll regret for the rest of my life.
The judge sentenced Quinn and Johnson each to 3 months in jail. Prosecutors said that they were disappointed and had hoped for more time. Reporting live in Manchester, I'm Andy Hirschberger, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Candidates for governor debate questions about infrastructure, labor, Trump, and more. Let's take a listen to the video from WCVB Boston.
Black Klansman from Spike Lee and Jordan Peele, based on the outrageous true story you have to see to believe.
Undercover in the Ku Klux Klan. I say that's Mission Impossible.
The New York Times hails it's a stunning tour de force. It's furious, funny, and brilliant. It's the movie of the year. Black Klansman, a Spike Lee joint. Watch now.
I know I'm the little guy.
Jay Gonzalez didn't shy away from their height difference or hammering Governor Baker for endorsing conservative Republicans on the GOP ticket, including for Attorney General.
Why do you think Jay McMahon will be a better Attorney General than Maura Healey?
I've worked closely with the Attorney General on all kinds of issues, and we've had a good working relationship. But I said months ago I was going to support the ticket, and I'm going to live up to my commitment on that.
So you believe he would be a better Attorney General than her?
I said I was going to support the ticket.
This is important because the governor is saying his loyalties to the Republican Party. regardless of the consequences.
And I'll put my track record on these issues up against anybody.
Baker's turn on offense, questioning Gonzalez on how he'd pay for billions in new programs.
It's dishonest to stand here in front of the voters, say you're going to be bold, and then talk about initiatives that cost billions of dollars that you don't have the dollars to pay for.
I have a specific plan to raise the money we need to do the things that I want to do that will cost more money.
And listen to the comment made after the candidates were asked about the World Series champs and whether they should go to the White House.
I think that's completely up to the team.
I'm going to invite them to the governor's office when I'm governor.
Okay. Mr. Gonzalez,
Good luck.
who
After Baker explains that wasn't meant as an insult to Gonzalez.
My reference was more to my own inability to get people like that to come to the State House for us.
Now, when asked what big idea would define their governorship, Gonzalez said high quality and affordable child care and preschool for all children to age 5. Governor Baker's goal? Addressing climate change.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Former players not surprised by former Maine coach's trade. Let's take a listen to the video from WMTW News 8, Travis Lee.
An AAU program virtually held a monopoly on giving top Maine high school basketball players out-of-state exposure. But several former players who have spoken to WMTW say his pattern of improper behavior was unbecoming of someone working with young athletes. By her sophomore year in high school, Emily Russo was one of the top college prospects in Maine. Seeking to help her exposure, she signed on to play for Mike Woodbury's girls program, where she says she and her teammates were threatened with degrading language.
When this video surfaced, your first reaction was?
I said, I hope today is finally the day that, you know, he's just done. It's like I said, this was 13 years ago for me, and I have heard about a lot of the things that have gone on over the years since then, and it's very similar to what I experienced.
In November 2015, Woodbury was involved in an altercation with a parent at an AAU event at Southern Maine Community College. A spokesman for SMCC says the college banned him from using the facility, and South Portland police confirmed they filed a no trespassing order preventing him from stepping foot on campus for a year. Russo says physical encounters with the coach occurred.
He bit my face once. We were sitting in between games in the bleachers, just kind of talking, joking around, and I kind of made like a good jab at him, and he grabbed my face, pulled it in, and he bit my cheek. And he did that to a few other players as well over time.
Russo says she and her teammates were also verbally abused.
He would call us sperm banks. We had an African-American girl on our team, and he told her if she didn't start playing better, there was going to be a hate crime.
Taylor Shildroth was an all-state player at George Stevens Academy in Maine, but never played AAU basketball in Maine for Woodbury, but attended Woodbury's Nations Christian Academy, hoping to continue his career in college, until yesterday when he withdrew after the video surfaced.
Didn't want to be associated with that, and just the things that were said were obviously terrible. That's not anything I believe in, so I felt like it was best for me to get out of that situation.
As an AAU coach, players pay to play and are not bound to the team, but oversight of AAU programs are scant. When contacted, Woodbury referred WMTW to his attorney and provided a list of players to speak on his behalf. Chuck Maturo had 2 sons play for Woodbury. He told WMTW he was harsh, but if he wanted to work hard and get better, there was no other place to go. Another player said Woodbury helped several players out with family or financial problems and treated them like family. Woodbury did not accept our offer for an interview. His attorney Josh Tardy said Mr. Woodbury denies that he has ever been physically abusive to any player. He is proud of his work in Maine basketball. In the newsroom, Travis Lee, WMTW, News 8 Sports.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Trump is showing he actually wants a trade deal with China Sanford experts say. Despite ramping up his complaints about Beijing and lobbying new threats of additional tariffs on China's imports, U.S. President Donald Trump wants to seal a trade deal with China, according to one expert. Trump falsely blames Obama for family separations at border. President Donald Trump mongled the facts Thursday when addressing immigration and falsely claiming more than once that former President Barack Obama was responsible for family separation at the border. Here's a look at what Trump said and what happened. It's Obama's fault, not true. Trump was widely criticized this spring for his rollout of zero-tolerance policy on immigration that resulted in the chaotic separations of some 2,600 children from their families. According to the Department of Health and Human Services, there are still some 221 children in custody as a result of the policy after a federal judge ordered that the families to be reunited. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. Goodbye, everyone.